Just when I thought that Joey Swole's meltdown over the death of Hulk Hogan was going to be the most pathetic thing we would see on the internet, we have a bunch of people freaking out, not about the American Eagle ad, but the fact that Sydney Sweeney is attractive and is a part of a marketing campaign that isn't celebrating a type 2 diabetic. Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad slammed as Nazi propaganda by crazed woke mob over jeans/jeans pun. Yeah. And it's wild because when we talked about this when it first launched, and I found it absolutely hilarious that these very banal ads that they just would have been a dime a dozen if these were coming out in like the late 70s, early 80s. Like this just, it would have been just rank and file stuff that Levi Strauss, The Gap, anybody, any retailer, any mass market retailer would have just put out back in the cut. But now all of a sudden we're just slightly returning to something even close to approximating some of the sex appeal that used to be in some of those ads. And these freaks are losing their minds. Even with the, what's the tagline? Sydney Sweeney has great genes. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I guess that one totally went over my head right there. And the fact that they just, had her ass or they had her cleavage, front and center in the ad itself, the whole eugenics topic or conversation really didn't even cross my mind. But for these people that are terminally online and perpetually jealous, I guess that's a big problem for them. But let's take a look at this. Leftist TikTok is a full pitchfork and torch, there we go, mode after a new ad from American Eagle Jeans featuring actress Sydney Sweeney. They use the play on words, and some are claiming it's full-on Nazi propaganda. Jesus Christ, the ad features Sweeney, 27, clad in a pair of the brand's jeans and a denim jacket, talking about her genes. Okay, genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color, she intonates in the spot. Okay, guess I missed that part. I wasn't really paying attention to what she is saying, kind of like whenever a woman talks. My jeans are blue, she says as she flashes her blue eyes in the clip. It went viral. It was posted by a Sweeney fan account, but then the account later went private following backlash on Sunday. Well, that's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, here's a look at your rank and file critic. You're going to find that there's a certain phenotype, okay? There's the people who advertise these jeans, who are front and center on these ads. And then there's the people who are big mad about this because, they gave up on having a personality a long time ago and they traded that in for a sleeve of Oreos and a septum piercing. And the change that they got for brokering their common sense was used to finance the purchase of a progressive pride flag. But it's so funny because at least at time of recording, American Eagle so far hasn't backed down or even addressed any of these freaks that are out there. And good on them because, yeah, they ended up reaping huge meme benefits on their stocks, adding like $200 million to their bottom line overnight because, yeah, freaks on the internet are going to be freaks on the internet, but people in real life will just go, oh, that's either kind of funny, or, oh shit, if those jeans and that top can go ahead and hold back that tidal wave of flesh, I might need some new duds after all. So yeah, normal people are done, okay? Because we remember and we seen all of this shit go down, okay? Because yeah, that's a Calvin Klein ad from the peak woke era. Yeah, exactly. I remember. You remember all of this shit. Nike was doing it. Reebok was doing it. All of the other outlets were out there, and yeah, that was big as beautiful. Okay, you wanna go ahead and see your girl in some Calvins? Well, don't worry. If you got a girl, you got a cow, you got any type of livestock that's out there that you're looking to milk, we can go ahead and put them in some Calvins because we can make that happen because we sell things by the square inch and not by what actually looks good out there. So yeah, tired of that shit because I'm sure this freak right here probably was over the moon happy with that advertisement. How did that work out for Calvin Klein? Yeah, and less said about that, the better. But she's not the only celebrity catching shit right now for an innocuous comment, and it really does drive home because the Sydney Sweeney stuff is really exposing just females' greatest weapon when it comes to intersexual competition, how they will try to tear down anybody else that they see is at a higher position than they are. Because unlike men, they can't really resort to physicality, but they can rely on cattiness and subversion. So that's why they see these little quote-unquote dog whistles everywhere, including this one, which, yeah, Billie Eilish is facing racism allegations for this statement, this one's wild, man.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool to be here. Obviously, I am not from here, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you. Well,
It's great to be in a place where everybody looks exactly like you. Well, I don't know, man. I've seen some of those immigration ads in Ireland in recent years, so maybe not everybody is looking exactly like you, but yeah, she's saying a nice thing to an audience that is already in the palm of her hand, and she's getting backlash for that. Like, people have fucking lost their minds, man. Okay, because if you're gonna think that a singer who is normally on your side when it comes to a whole host of political issues, you remember who appeared during the 2020 DNC, by the way, who was hopping on the Biden train and nobody else. But yeah, they'll just go ahead and throw her by the wayside. But if they'll lose their mind over that, losing their mind over an ad seems a little bit more plausible now, doesn't it? And well, we've seen some screenshots and a few different snippets, but we got a couple of videos here that are just, well, they're a special breed of stupidity. Okay, reopen these insane asylums, or somebody can just simply reintroduce all of these women who have been told they're special their entire life, that they're beautiful, that they've never been told no in their life. If they could just reintroduce them to reality, that would be fantastic. We could save ourselves all of this stupidity, but then again, we'd miss out on so many good memes. But a black woman broke down in tears over Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad, claiming the commercial is racially charged and warning that people will stay silent while black people are eventually hung. What the fuck are you talking about, you nutcase?
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there. But then even then, I feel like they'll be like, oh no. Kind of like they are with...
What the fuck is going on? So you don't have to post everything that you record on the internet, okay? Just chase down your SSRIs with a box wine, or in your case, malt liquor, and then just go on with your day. You don't have to see it anymore. Unless, of course, you work at American Eagle, and that would be hilarious. But then again, you probably never show up on time anyway, so don't worry about that. But hey, a woke trauma surgeon calls Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad xenophobic and racist and scientifically inaccurate. Oh, great. This is probably somebody else that says that trans women are women, so let's hear from their perspective.
The Sydney Sweeney Aryan Eagle ad is not only xenophobic and racist, it's also scientifically inaccurate. She says genes often determine hair color and eye color. I'm sorry, often? That's literally what they do. If they're not determining hair color and eye color, what is? It's giving...
Holy fuck, ladies and gentlemen, these are people that graduated medical school. So fantastic. It's just wonderful. Remember when we were told we were supposed to clap for these brave individuals some 5 years ago? Boy, I'm sure glad I never participated in any of that fucking nonsense, but okay.
Red pill podcast bro with no marketing experience clearly running their ad department. And I just hate when companies make content trying to use medical or scientific terms and then completely fuck it up. Like, it's not that hard to Google what genes do, how DNA works. Do genes often determine our traits, or do they always determine our traits?
Oh my god, yeah, because you can't compete, like, you know, on a looks basis. This is like saying who's more fuckable, an elf or a hobbit, and you're trying to do the actually thing underneath somebody's tweet when they have a spelling mistake. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, they aren't sending their best because they saved it for another has-been, okay? Doja Cat mocks Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle jeans ad with a hillbilly accent because, guess what? They don't actually really care. They don't care about these ads. They just hate white people. Let's call this exactly what it is.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Oh, okay. That was supposed to be funny, right? It probably would have been funny if she would have asked for a hell yeah or said what after everything that she listed out. But again, just because you record it doesn't mean you need to put it out there on the internet. But I guess as somebody who used to get all of those ad deals, somebody who used to be a corporate spokesperson, I guess you'd be a little bit upset if you seen somebody else making bank the way that you used to. But in summation, the outrage is this. Hollywood actress Sydney Sweeney's new American Eagle ad is being slammed as Nazi propaganda by liberals just because the ad expresses having pride in your God-given genetics. Not even really, man. Again, it's trying to sell some genes, and they're trying to be cheeky in doing it. Backlash comes from Sydney saying genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color, which liberals are associating with white supremacy. Liberals, I thought it was gonna be like kind of bad, but wow, that's gonna be in history books, one TikTok user posted. But to be completely honest, most of this shit is gonna blow over next week. I will be I will be the friend that's too woke, but these Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird, like fascist weird, like Nazi propaganda weird. Another user with a septum piercing mused, like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. That is Nazi propaganda. But hey, if you have some fat black bitch who's causing a ruckus at the DMV and she wants to talk about brown pride, that's totally acceptable. Alright, another TikToker made a video bemoaning the ad, saying, if you haven't seen or comprehended how bad this is, I need you to open your fucking eyeballs and listen. Again, can we just go ahead and get the opinion of that stupid fucking nurse? Because she seemed to have a big problem with the scripting of genes sometimes determining immutable characteristics. But can I get a breakdown of how you can hear with your eyeballs? Okay, this is Nazi shit, pure Nazi shit. She brayed, yes, like a fucking horse. But yeah, no, everything's Nazis, everything's racist, everything's sexist, and they're just mad that they look like this and they don't even want to attempt to look anything like this. Sucks to suck, I guess. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.